granny boat. Ugh. Jeez Louise. All right. We got to go over a lesson. And then on Tuesday, you got to have a test. All right. What numbers did we do, dorks?
16 through 40.
16 through, I thought you said number 2 was terrible.
The first 3 we did.
Ah.
So 16, 18.
So 16 through 20 have to have, actually a bunch of them have to have pictures. We did 16 through what? Did you say 40? 40? Yeah, makes sense.
Can we do 16?
Yeah, it's like super easy, but sure, why not? No, I can't read the answers, but I can show you the answers. Well, I can read the answers while I get some things to number 22. Number 22 is 0, 4. Number 24 is 2, 5. Number 26 is negative 5, 4. Number 28 is 7350. Number 30 is the square root of 85, which is approximately equal to 77.5 degrees. I feel like this is the wrong remote because it's not doing anything. Where's the other remote? Did it get stolen? Helen, did you steal the remote? How dare you? I know, so rude. Oh, you know why it's not doing anything? Because the TV's unplugged. It's never gonna work if the TV's unplugged. Clean your lens for clearer picture. Don't tell me how to live my life. More like a cabbage.
What?
What? Oh, there it goes. It kind of looks like a cabbage, like sorta.
I guess that is true. What drives me crazy is when I say something and people think I'm trying to be edgy, but I'm really not. Like, it's not even supposed to be edgy.
You're such a pick me.
That's funny.
I'm not even trying to be edgy.
That was actually kind of funny, Jacob. Good job. Mother of pearls, go away. We don't have all day. Show up. Find the television. It's clearly on.
We should watch movies.
Well, it is on the challenge channel, so if we watch anything, it'll be the challenge. Everybody's favorite.
It'll be less of a challenge than doing that.
What does that say? Thank you for being, is that why it's not showing up? Okay, I'm so happy that I'm valued. Wow. On that note, how about math? Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Reality TV has gotten a little bit crazy.
That's because it's not really reality. It's just edited.
No, that's not why it's gotten crazy. It's gotten crazy because people watch that crap. All right, children. There is 16 and 18. And there is 20. Are you like trying to copy it down? Because just ask about it in a second. Calm down.
Okay.
All right, where did I get to? 32, yeah?
You didn't finish
30, yeah, I did.
No, you didn't say the direction. You only said the angle, you didn't say the distance.
Oh, that's not, oh, actually I said both. I just didn't read the answer right. The distance is square root of 85. The angle is 77.5 degrees.
Well, you're supposed to write the square root.
You could get the decimal equivalent. 32, distance is square root of 80. And the angle is 296.6 degrees. 34, distance is square root of 97. And the angle is 204 degrees. 36 is going to be on the television. It's right there. And 38 is right there. And 40 is right there. All right. What questions do you have, children?
16, 18, and 20, or were we just supposed to guess on how the picture looks on what we're doing?
No, you're not supposed to guess. What kind of question is that? Gooey.
Well, no, how do we don't have any numbers to use.
Oh yeah. So you're supposed to YOLO and draw them. Like,
Okay.
yeah, like, I mean, you could trace it over the paper, right? But yeah, you're supposed to draw them as best you could draw them.
We do number 34.
We could do number 34.
What was the direction you said?
204 degrees. So the vector Q, this is number 34.
Oh, wait.
Vector Q is -9, -4. In its component form. And we're supposed to find its magnitude and direction. So what should we do? Yeah, give us a little bit of a graph. You don't have to have the graph, but it is helpful to kind of think about what's happening. -9, -4, there-ish. Right? Good enough for government work. -9, have y'all never heard that phrase? Oh, there you go. Now you have a new colloquialism for your tool belt.
We're not old enough.
You're never too young to learn a few colloquialisms. You are too young to have heard all of them, because everybody's too young for that. What should we do? Pythagorean theorem sounds great. What are you okay over there? Do you have a question already, or you just mumbling about something else? Okay. All right, Pythagorean theorem sounds great. 4 squared plus 9 squared equals r squared. What's 4 squared? 16. What's 9 squared? 81. 16 plus 81? 97 equals r squared. Take the square root. We end up with the square root of 97 for our magnitude. Yay. Now what? We do got to find the angle. Why would we do cosine?
Oh, a tangent of x.
Inverse tangent, but yeah. We're finding the angle, right?
Oh
and then change it to inverse? We could. We don't need to do all that. So the inverse tangent of -4 over -9, which becomes positive, equals theta, but whatever. (23.96 degrees). But that's not actually that angle. You gotta add the 180 to it. 204-ish. Did you figure out whatever you were confused about? Good. What other questions do we have, kids?
What was the direction for
Problem
problem
30, the direction was 77.5 degrees.
If we put 78, would you call
It doesn't say what to round to, so no, I wouldn't.
again, what were the answers?
If you put 79 or 77, I probably wouldn't count off. It's probably some sort of rounding thing at that point in that problem.
What were the answers to 28?
28, 73.50.
Okay, I simplified that down to 1. I didn't understand what you were looking
You're writing a vector in component form, which is this,
for.
is what it asks for.
Because it said to describe the path with the fireworks shown, so.
Well, it says write a vector in component form to describe it.
Yeah, so I did.
Oh.
Magnitude and the
Well,
direction.
that is,
It's just
that's,
that on a drastically smaller scale.
what? I don't understand.
1 to 5. I simplified it down.
Oh.
I didn't understand we're supposed to put the biggest number.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't reduce it because that's a totally different vector. That'd be a much shorter vector. It'd be on your vector has the same direction as this vector.
So
It just doesn't have the same magnitude as this vector.
I got the magnitude and direction of it.
Well, it doesn't ask for that. It asks for it in component form, which is that. You did extra work, but it's, practice, and reading's hard.
What is problem
24, sure. Okay. Where is my rag? Lost my marbles and my rag.
What else is new?
Was that supposed to be a roast?
You said you washed your knuckles.
I don't feel like that was a good roast. You can't make a comical roast by using somebody's self-deprecating humor and basically being like, "Yeah, you're right, you are dumb." That's not a good roast, girl. You have to have your own thing.
Go step on a Lego.
So that's better. It's not really that. Where is my eraser? That was a better one, but it was still not your best work.
It was supposed to be a roast.
It was just petty. I see.
Yes.
It was just, that's like, when somebody does just pettiness of like, "Oh my gosh, you're fat and ugly." That means that they're losing whatever debate is taking place.
Yeah.
That's what's when you see like political debates on the internet and people are like trying to make points and whatever else, and then the other person's like, "Oh my gosh, you're ugly, your breath smells bad," and then they walk off. It's like, yeah, because you were losing that debate there, kid.
Wasn't that pretty much just the last presidential debate we had?
The last presidential debate that we had was not that. It was dumb.
Well, I mean the one between.
You talking about like the Biden and Trump debate?
Yeah.
What are we doing? 24? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yes. I knew it was.
That one for sure.
Well, yeah, it ended up being that way. It didn't start that way. It started as a bunch of non sequiturs and nonsensical nonsense. And then it kind of ended with, oh my gosh, you're bad at golf. Oh my gosh, you're also bad at golf. Yeah, it was stupid.
Sounded like Cleveland from Family Guy.
I've seen a few episodes of Family Guy. I've never particularly found, like, Family Guy to me is like lowest common denominator funny. Like, it's not like a few jokes land because, of course, eventually a few jokes land, but like, it's just dumb.
I have the worst sense of humor, so.
I feel like you want to have the worst sense of humor, and so you try to have the worst sense of humor. 1, 2, 3. And then down 1.
Last night I laughed at an image and it had a picture of Jesus and it said he's risen.
What? Did you figure out what's wrong with it?
Yeah, I didn't read it right. It just says right the issue.
So I don't think that the fact.
So, do we actually need to do it? Do we need to do this one? Anybody else wanting this one done?
So what's the answer?
No.
2, 5.
Like this, it was like
So what point would you count?
I know.
Okay, so let's finish it then.
It made me laugh so hard.
And then 2 over and down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, duh, obviously. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right here is whatever that is, R. And the vector looks like these. So, standard form means that you move the tail to the origin, and then you write down where S would be. So when you shift, easiest way to kind of do it is to essentially redraw the origin here, right? And then count. Over 2 and up 5. Does that make sense? Yeah. This is component form. Magnitude and direction are not component form. Another way to write component form, which you might see depending on your path, would be to write it like this. That's another way to write it in component form. Means same thing.
I got that answer, but I forgot how I did it. Over. So basically what you have to add to R to get to 0, 0, you add to S to get the answer.
Right, if you want to just do it like algebraically, yeah. You can also, instead of moving RS, you can move the origin and then just count.
So would 22 be 0, 3?
22 would be 0, 4. Make sense? Anybody have any questions? Y'all turn the page and go to pages 611 through 614. Is there anything that we need to look at today so that you can do well on the test Tuesday?
The answer key.
Oh, I see my rag. Why did I put it there?
On that note, would you be able to send the answers to the study group?
If you ask me for them digitally, I will send them to you digitally. I am not going to be responsible for remembering to do that right now. But if you ask for it, then I will send it to you.
Number 12.
Number 12,
1611.
geometric mean between square root of 20 and square root of 80. How do we find the geometric mean between two numbers? No. Go back in your notes, kiddos, or the book. So the positive square root of the product of two numbers. So square root of the square root of 20 times the square root of 80. So now what?
The square root of 16. The square root of the square root of 16.
That's true enough. Square root of the square root of 1600. What now?
Now we have square root of 40.
That's true, because the square root of 1600 is 40. Nobody's going to double check him? Everybody just assumes that he's got this? Wow. Your reputation precedes you, or they're just lazy. It is 40. Square root of 40. What now?
It's 2 on the outside of the square root of 10.
Yeah. So we're going to split this into square root of 4 times the square root of 10, right? It's going to be 2 times the square root of 10, right? What? Your calculator cheated for you? Wow. Square root of the product is how you find the geometric mean, right? That's the moral of the story. Then we just kind of simplified stuff. Yeah. You didn't even do this one. Why am I helping you if you're just sitting there staring at it?
Well, I understood it.
Well, that's good.
I just didn't write it down.
But if you didn't write it down, how are you going to use it to study? About that.
That's a good point.
Just because there's not going to be any proofs on this test doesn't mean this test is going to be easy.
Well, me, the test's not easy.
Yeah, that was the point. Okay. What now?
I don't know if it's the way we're supposed to find it, but we can use nope, that's not one. We can use that. We can use
We could certainly use some geometric means to get there. Square root. What are you talking about?
to find y because of the 90 degrees and the 13 hypotenuse.
You're trying to use like trig or something?
Yeah.
We don't know enough angles. We'd have to have one of the angles to get there. It's like you're talking about using cosine, but you'd have to have this angle, and then you could do that.
Could you do it for the zy 9? Could you use trig on that one? Because you have 2 angles. We don't know what the second angle is.
We don't know. All we know is there are 3 triangles up there, and all we know about any of them is that they're 90 degree. They're right triangles.
We just have to find one of the variables, and then we can find the other 2 easy.
Well, isn't
It's
it
true.
like the altitude drawn to the,
Go back in your notes or your book.
altitude drawn to the hypotenuse? It's the one times the one on the other divided by something or square root of something. This, but it's like.
It is something like that. That's true. Go back in your notes, figure out what it is. What?
Square root of 9.
That's all I can hear right now. What is it?
Are we trying to find it?
All the triangles are similar. So
Square root of 9 times
13 is
Square root of 9 times 4 would equal what? Which letter?
What equals Z?
Y.
X.
None of them?
It's going to equal one of them. Which one does it equal?
Oh, wait, this
Whichever
thing.
one is the right one.
Whichever one is correct. All right.
Is it X?
It's not X.
Is it what, Z?
It is Z.
So Z,
Oh, okay, I remember this now.
Z equals the square root. It equals the geometric mean of these two.
Yeah, and then X is gonna equal 9 plus 9 times
What does Z equal?
4. Yeah.
6. That's nice. Now we can use geometric means, or we can use Pythagorean theorem, we can use whatever the heck we want to use, right?
so like we could do, to find y, if we wanted to first, to find y, we could have done like 9 times
The
9,
square.
9 times 9 plus 4.
Yes.
The square root
Yes.
of 9 times 9 plus 4.
Yes, we could have done, to find y, we could have done the square root of 9 times 9 plus 4. Yes, we could have. And we could do that right now. Or we could use Pythagorean theorem.
9 plus 4 first, though.
Yeah, because order of operations. Yes. Yeah, it's like times the parentheses.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah. That would matter a lot, because is it 4 times 9 or is it 9 times 4? Or, because, yeah. So, yeah, to find y, it equals the square root of 9 times 9 plus 4. What is 9 plus 4?
13.
Don't go any further than that. Why not? I mean, we're going to simplify, but
3 times the square root of.
yeah, square root of 9 is 3. So y equals 3 times the square root of 13. We could have also gotten there by doing 6 squared plus y squared equals 9 squared. And we would have gotten 36 plus y squared equals 81, and keep on going, and we still would have got the same number.
Be 36 plus 81 equals 1 squared. Because y is opposite than 90.
Oh yeah, y is the hypotenuse. You're right. I wasn't looking at that right at all. Etc. Right? Yeah. To find x, what would we do?
The square root of 4 times 4 plus 7.
So 2 times the square root of 13. Right?
We do 22.
Sure. What is happening? Where are all these notifications?
Which one?
So-and-so submitted late. I see. 22, isn't that what you said?
Oh,
22. Excuse me. Twenty-two is triangle. 60 degrees. This problem could totally show up on a no calculator portion of a test. Probably would. Anything from 8-3 could show up on a no calculator portion of the test. Did I ever, I feel like I said the other day that I was going to show you this table but then never did. Did I show you a table? Because there's a easier way to memorize them than just trying to remember the triangles. Did I ever show you that? I think I did not. Let me show you an easy way to rememberize the special right triangles. You should definitely put this in your notes. Sine, cosine, tangent. What are all the special angles we know about?
30, 60, 90, 40, 45, 90.
Yeah, so 30 degrees, 60 degrees, 45 degrees. We're going to add a couple. We're going to see into the future because it makes the table prettier and easier to rememberize. We're going to add 0 degrees. And then we're going to list them in order. 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees, and we're going to add one more. We're going to add 90 degrees. You will learn theoretically in a couple of years how to figure out the other ones. Everybody in here can count to 4. I know that that's true. No, that didn't really work either. It didn't really work either, girly. You got to work on it. Do better. The sine of 0 degrees is 0. What is the sine of 30 degrees? Y'all look in your notes if you don't have it memorized. Don't cheat on your calculator. Stop it. Look in your notes. It is a half. 1/2. What is the square root of, no. What is the sine of 45 degrees? Nope. It is square root of 2 over 2. Yes, 30, 60, 90, 30 degrees. 1, 2, square root of 2. The sine is,
I thought it was 1, 2 square root of 3. And then
yeah,
45,
that.
45, 90, it's 1, 1 square root of 2.
Oh, I'm talking about the wrong triangle. I was confusing myself. What have I done? Yeah, 1, 1 square root of 2. 1 over the square root of 2. We have to rationalize it. Times the square root of 2 over square root of 2. And the denominator is 2. Numerator is the square root of 2, right? Square root of 2 over 2. What is the sine of 60 degrees? Square root of 3 over 2. Sine of 90 degrees is the square root of 4 over 2, which does in fact equal 1. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cosine goes the other way. 4, 3, 2, 1. 0.
The sine of 0 is 1.
How does it get there? Because anything times 0 is 0, so how does cosine?
It's not times. It's not cosine times 0. It's cosine of 0.
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh.
I figured cosine was some kind of random imaginary number, like how is the angle equal?
No, it's a ratio. You know that. You know it's a ratio. It's also a function.
Wait, why is it square root of 2 over 1 instead of square root of 2 over 2?
I don't really know why I wrote 1. That just kind of happened. Now, to get the tangent one, I'm going to teach you your first identity. You ready? Tangent of theta equals sine of theta over cosine of theta. It's true facts. So if you know sine and cosine, you memorize 0 through 4 and 4 through 0, then you just do 0 over 1 is 0. 1 over 1/2 divided by the square root of 3 over 2 is square root of 3 over 3. Because it's 1/2 divided by square root of 3 over 2. Those cancel. 1 over the square root of 3. Rationalize the square root of 3 over 3. Square root of 2 over square root of 2 is 1. Square root of 3 divided by 1/2 is square root of 3. That's undefined.
So you can't find the tangent of
It doesn't, it's not that you can't find it, it's that it doesn't exist. Which, I know, I'm semantically splitting hairs, but you can't find it because it doesn't exist there. There is an asymptote in the function right there. Because if you were to graph these both look like this. This one looks like this,
Math error.
etc.
Three straight lines.
They're curved, actually. They're like little curved things.
What universe is that line straight?
It's not.
It's handwritten.
It's not supposed to be straight. I can draw closer to straight lines than that. Thank you very
You were
much.
writing in such a weird way,
Oh, yeah.
like trying to draw.
Could make it.
Wait, so is the line supposed to be straight or not?
No.
No.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. You can try to memorize those triangles if you want, but if you memorize this, this way, it's way easier because it's just 0 through 4 and then 4 through 0.
So how do you figure out if it's sine or cosine?
You keep saying that at the house. You're like, that's how.
No, but like, I know.
This one, this problem that we're doing right now. Which one do you want to start with? X or Y? X, sounds great. So X, which trig function would we have to use to find X? It would be tangent, because the known number is opposite, and X is adjacent. So opposite over adjacent is tangent. So the tangent of 60 degrees equals 15 over X. What's the tangent of 60 degrees? Square root of 3. Now what?
Now we have to multiply both sides times x and both sides divided by the square root of 3.
X times the square root of 3 equals 15. Yeah. Then what do we do? Divide both sides by the square root of 3. What was that? We don't like that. It's ugly. We need to fix it. What should we do with it?
Multiply by the square root of 3 over square root of 3.
Sounds great. Square root of 3 over square root of 3. X equals 15 times the square root of 3 over 3, which equals 5 times the square root of 3.
Wait, where did the 3 go? Oh, 5.
Because reduction. Now, looking at the y, which trig function would we use? Now, I know and I understand that we could use Pythagorean theorem right now, right? Because we have 2 of the 3 sides. However, it is absolutely best practice to, if possible, go back to given numbers, because you could have made a mistake over there. And so if you're using that number that's mistaken, and then you're going back and trying to use it, then you've broken everything. We can. We can just still use trig, right? So which trig function are we using to find y? Sine, because opposite and hypotenuse. So the sine of 60 equals 15 over y. What are you saying what about?
I'm confused. Where did we get? Okay, we're trying to find y, and we're using the opposite.
You said sine. I don't understand what, but continue.
I did.
Yes, you did.
He did.
You did too.
I did.
Yes, but continue. Go ahead.
Okay, but I don't know where we got that from. For some reason, it's not.
Okay.
I know I did back when we did this lesson.
Great. Keep going. Ask the question. What are you asking?
Where did we get the sign? How did we? Where did we get? How did?
What
we
is 15 to 60? Opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse.
It's the hypotenuse.
15 is not the hypotenuse.
Opposite.
It's opposite. What is y? Opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse.
It's adjacent to 60. Oh no, it is the hypotenuse.
It's the hypotenuse. So opposite and hypotenuse. Which trig function goes with opposite and hypotenuse? Sine. Also cosecant, but you haven't learned that yet.
Would you count off if we did a ratio like?
If you got them using the ratio, well,
What ratio are you talking about?
Sine is It's
square
the
root
over
of
15
3
equals
and
sine
2.
of 90 over y.
Oh, I'm really
I'm
saying.
lost.
No, that you can't.
I thought you
Oh, you're trying to use law of sines?
Oh,
Why? Okay, so if you got to the right answer using law of sines, no, I would not count off. I would laugh at you and be slightly annoyed, but I would count off 0 points if you got the right answer. But, so yes, you could use law of sines to get there. I'm sorry, I was very confused. But let's not do that, and let's do this.
Why would you do that?
Because that's the most recent lesson, so that's where his brain went. It makes sense. Law of sines you only have to use if it's not a right triangle, right?
just use the ratio of the square root of 3 and 2.
Could you just guess?
So yeah, you could do it that way. Yes, you could do it that way. What's the sine of 60 degrees?
Square root of 3 and 2.
Cross multiply. Square root of 3, y equals 30. Divide by the square root of 3. Y equals 30 over the square root of 3. Square root of 3 over 3, square root of 3. Y equals 30 times the square root of 3 over 3. Y equals 10 times the square root of 3.
It would have been so much easier to multiply x times 2.
That's true. And if you had thought about that and thought about how those ratios work, then that would totally be fine. What you are saying, I would not laugh at you, but you would have to make sure you wrote it out like what you did for me to not count off. Because I would have to see that you didn't just like.
what was he trying to do?
Back when we did the special triangles, the 30, 60, 90 had a ratio of 1
Right.
to square root of 3. And x was the side equal to 1, and y was the side equal to 2. So if we found x, we could just multiply times 2 and get y.
That's true. You could do that. Thank you, whoever you are. Wraith Walker Sports. Okay. Any other questions from the study guide?
Oh. Alright.
So when you're drawing vectors, like in 40, you would draw the other vector to the other one.
I would not give a question like 40 on the test. I would give a question like 39 or 41, but I would not give one where you were supposed to copy the vectors. That would be too hard to like grade properly and do proper like. No, I wouldn't give you one like that.
Oh, where'd that?
Okay, kids, goodbye. See you later. Go find somebody that loves you. Study for your test.
Well, that's gonna take a long time.
Why didn't we do a quiz?
It's gonna take you longer to read.
Because I didn't want to do a quiz today.